Hello everyone, welcome to Lesson Dev, and this is Supratim, and today I'm going to show you how to build a basic server using MCP, which stands for Model Context Protocol, using Cursor. Okay, so I've already built one server named as IPL Team Data, where I have 10 IPL teams, multiple data. Okay, so let us show you the example how this server will behave. So this server is already running. So here I'll be asking this question. Let's say trophy numbers of Chennai. Okay, let me run this, and this will run and see. This is my tool's name, that get IPL data team by name. So I'll simply run this tool, and here I have the number. You can see. Wait, Chennai Super King, Chennai. Okay, I think my spelling has been wrong, so that's why it's not giving me. So let's say okay, so let us run this, and here we go. I guess we have it. Yes, so here you can see we have all the information about Chennai. We have the trophy, we have the captain, we have Chennai's home ground, team colors, established, everything. Okay, so this is the basic example of how MCP server will look like, and here you can easily add your LLM and all this kind of thing. So we'll talk about that, and we'll see how we can build this. So before that, we should know what MCP is, right? So here we come. This is the official website of Model Context Protocol.io, and this has been built by Anthropic, which is the parent company of Claude, right? So let us read out it. So we have that MCP is an open protocol that standardizes how application provide context to LLM. This is the first line is pretty simple, and it clearly says what this MCP thing is. Okay, so let us read a bit. Think of MCP like a USB-C port for AI application, just as USB-C provides a standardized way to connect your devices to various accessories, right? So let us assume that we have an LLM and we have an user asking queries to feed. So in our previous one of our video, we have built a RAG-based chatbot using Gemini LLM. So there what we are doing, we are feeding our multiple PDF information to the LLM, and then from the client side we were asking some queries, and that LLM was giving us those information. But the thing is, those PDF information was pretty less. But in the real life, in the real time, when we'll be providing huge amount of data, and you'll be needing to feed those data to our LLM, it will take a lot of time, and it will also cost a lot of money to feed lots amount of data to an LLM, right? So that's why this MCP server comes into the game. Okay, so what is work? Let us show you the diagram of it. Here you could see that we have a local data source A, then we have a server A, then we have our host with MCP client, and in this video we'll be using Cursor as our MCP client. Okay, so how this works? So imagine you have an LLM and you are as a user. Okay, so you are asking your LLM, hey, I want to know some information about a team called Chennai Super King in IPL. So in general, what it can happen, that you feed all the information about IPL and all its team and all information about Chennai Super Kings to an LLM. Then as per the query, LLM will search through its context, and it will give you some information. But it will take a lot of time, and it took a lot of cost to feed that data, right? So that's why we'll be creating one MCP server as get IPL team data. Okay, so whenever a user will ask a query, let's say I want this IPL team's data, so that LLM will call that particular MCP server. From there it will generate the response and it will give it to you. So it will become much more easier to build much more complex AI agent. because the flow has been become easier because of this inbuilt MCP server. Okay, so this and this is the general architecture of it. You can see we have a client, we have multiple server, then we have local source. So this is a 3 type of server, right? So we have local data source A, from where our server will take the data and it will give you, and this is where we can also add some web API that will take information from some cloud services. Okay, now MCP have this 5 architecture of it. First is MCP host. What this host like where all this cloud desktop IDs like this Cursor IDE, all these things. MCP client is this. Cursor has this inbuilt MCP client that will help you to interact with your server. MCP server that will be building in a couple of time, and these data sources are like your databases or your data sources from where your server will take the data. It could be your database, it could be deployed remotely in cloud, or it could be in your local machine. Okay, so this is, I tried to give you some basic understanding of what MCP is. You should better read this documentation and some more papers on it. Okay, so now we should try build our MCP server. Alright, so now we'll build our MCP server. So for this video I'll be using TypeScript SDK. Here you can see in this model context protocol.io's website sidebar, I'll be clicking this TypeScript SDK, and I have navigated to this GitHub repo, and here you can, and if you want to know more about this, you have all the readme md file, you can go through this. All right, so now here it has all the steps how you can build it. So in this installation step, I'll be install this npm install @model context protocol /SDK. Okay, so I'll copy it. Okay, all right, so I'll come here. But first I'll write npm init to initialize a package.json. Okay, so npm init, it will give me this package. My package name would be MCP IPL. All right, okay, so I have a package.json initialized here. Okay, all right, so now what will we do? What we have copied, that command, we'll paste it over here. npm install this protocol /SDK. Let me run this. It will take some time, and okay, so this is my package log.json. I have model context protocol SDK. Okay, so I need to create one index.js. So index.js file. Now comes to this GitHub repo. Here you see it says that let's create a simple MCP server that exposes a calculator tool, but we'll be using it as an IPL data fetcher. You can use it as any kind of data that you want to build for your first time testing your MCP server experience. Okay, so we need to create a server first, and for this server we need this library to be imported. So we'll copy this line and we'll paste it over here, but I don't need this. Okay, let me squeeze that. Okay, now what it says, we need to create a server. So let me copy this. I'll copy it and paste it over here, and the name, I'll change the name as IPL Data Fetcher. Okay, version will be 1.0.0. okay, and then what it says, that we need to add some additional tool, right? We need to add our tools. So let me I don't need to copy it, I'll be building it. So okay, so for registering a tool, say tool, okay, need to do server dot tool. Okay, here I'll be giving my name. So let's say I'll get the name as get IPL data by team name. Okay, alright, then I'll simply pass it a team using jet.string. Now what is this jet? This jet comes from Zod. You can see over here, this jet comes from this Zod, and to have this Zod we need to install npm I Zod. So let us have it. You can see in the dependencies we have Zod now. Okay, all right, so let me import this Zod. Zod is done. MCP string, need to give a function to it, string. Okay, all right, now here I'll be creating one async function. Async, here I'll be passing my team and an arrow function to create the return part. I'll be return one content. Okay, copy this, done. Okay, now to return something, here in this you can see that to return I have this type, text, string, all this thing, but here I'll be returning those my data related to my IPL team. So for that I need to create a function that will consist my IPL data, right? So here I'll write IPL data function. Okay, so I'll be this has to be an async function. So async function, let's say get IPL by team, get IPL by team, then simply will pass team in blank while I'll be taking the teams, and this is the code block. Now at first I need to provide is my team data. Okay, team data. Now okay, so now simply paste me the team data that I've prepared already. So this is the team data I have. I have 10 teams of Chennai, Mumbai, Gujarat, Bangalore, and all these teams. Okay, I'll be minimizing it. Okay, so as I have 10 teams, so I need to create a variable to search those teams, right? So const, let's say I'll be create this search team here as per team dot to lowercase, because you might give some block case, but all my teams are in my lowercase, so I'll be converting that into lowercase. Then if team data within this search team is present, then I'll be simply return team data with search team. Okay, else if the team name doesn't match with my data set, So I'll simply provide an error and a null value. Error. In error I'll say team not found. Okay, so this is how my async function for my IPL team is done. Now I need to, like, when this tool will be called, I need to provide this function. Okay, so let me save this. So here in this context I simply need to provide it, right? So for the type it will be a text type. Okay, then what text I'll be fetching, whatever type text I'll be fetching, I need to stringify it using JSON. So JSON stringify, I'll use await as I am using async function. Await our get IPL by team, and here I'll be passing the user teams. Okay, I think, is there an error? Text type. Okay, all right, yes, it will be under okay, so this whole thing will be under this curly brace. Okay, now let me save this. Have this thing over here. Now after that I need to initialize my server. Okay, so for that, if you come over here, you could see we have this HTDIO server transport. Okay, so we'll take this one and we'll paste it over here. Now we'll be initializing our server. So again, we're writing one async function. Async function, let's say init, and here curly brace it has over here. So I'll simply just copy this, start receiving message on HTTP and sending message on HTTP out. So I'll copy this one and I'll paste it over here. I'll save it. Now then to initialize it, I'll simply start my init function. Okay, it's done. Okay, so my MCP server is done. Now let me run this. To run it, I'll be using node index.js, and this is for the testing purpose, is it working or not. So it says that, see, no trace warning to show where the warning was created. So it's trying to say that to load an ES module, set type module in the package.json. Okay, so I'll copy this one and I'll go to my package.json. After this main, I'll paste it. Okay, I'll save this. Then I'll again run this node index.js and it's running. Okay, done. Now to enable this MCP server, what we need to do, we simply need to come in here, this open cursor settings. Here come to this MCP. Here you can add a new global MCP server. Okay, so I'll open it, and here what I'll be doing, I'll be giving it a name of, okay, you know what, as I have built the same as my previous one, I should change it. So IPL Data Fetcher, get IPL data by team name. So I'll be calling it this IPL get IPL data by team. Okay, I'll come in here, I'll add an mcp.json. Here IPL team, command will be node and all this thing. Now to have this path to initialize this MCP server, you need to initialize this mcp.json and you need to give the path where your folder is. So to get what your folder is, simply type this command pwd. It will show you where your path is. So copy this, I'll paste it over here. But the problem is you can't keep the convention like this. Change it to backslash and here add your index.js. Okay, and simply save it. Now your server is running. Here you can see, and close. See, your MCP server is running now over here. Okay, so let us try it. So I'll come here, I'll get a new chat. Here what I'll be doing, so we have, this is our data, team data. So let's say I want to know about Kolkata. Okay, so wait a minute. Yeah, about Kolkata. Let's see, is it coming or not. So this will search in my Cursor IDE to get an tools related to this Kolkata. It has got this, so team Kolkata. So I'll run this. See, here it says that trophy to Captain Shreyas Iyer, all this information about this. Okay, and it's also as per its LLM knowledge, it is giving me some other data as well. Okay, now let us ask some new question. So let's say, how many does Delhi have? So let us send it. It's again checking. It has found one and it is asking for the permission. See, 0 Delhi Capitals has not won any IPL trophies yet. Okay, and it's also giving me the result as per my MCP server data. Okay, so this is how you can build your own MCP server, and in the next video I'll be showing you how to build a server and also how to run it on a server from a different cloud. Okay, so this is how you're going to build. So okay, so this is how you build an MCP server in your Cursor IDE. Now in our next video we'll be building it using SSE. What is SSE? Let me tell you. So here you can see that running your server. Here it also says that it has two type of server. One is, where is gone? Okay, wait a minute. So it has two type of server. One is this HTDIO. This is like standard input output that we have done in this video. But in the next video we'll be using this SSE, means servers and events, which is a separate endpoint for the client. So that you can deploy your MCP server and you can create an user interface from where you can call your server. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching and see you in the next video. And if you have liked the video, do like and subscribe.